Hello YouTube! Today on the Naughty Librarian, I'm bringing you like a somewhat tipsy book haul. It is after 10 o'clock at night on a weekday, and I forgot I wanted to film, and so that's why I'm filming now, and this is not the first glass of wine. But you know what? The show must go on. I just decided, I'm like, yeah, this is how I live my life now on a Wednesday. Anyway, I have been collecting some books recently. I didn't just buy all these books recently. Some were from the publisher, some I got from other places, etc. But I've been collecting them over a series of weeks, and it's time to haul them at 10:30 at night on a Wednesday, a little tipsy. We're going on an adventure, everybody. Let's start this off with a book that was sent to me by the publisher Tor Books, which is Engines of Oblivion by Karen Osborne. This is the sequel to Architects of Memory, which I have read and reviewed on this channel. And I did like the book. The ending fucked me up though, because it's a really messed up ending. So it was like, okay, I need the sequel, because they need to do some retcon here, because oh man, they're gonna do me like that in that ending anyway. So let's get into what this series is about. Basic premise here is that first contact happened and it didn't go well, and so humans are in this never-ending war with this alien species, and then this crew of like salvagers, they find this thing in a spaceship. It is like a super mega alien weapon, and they're like, oh no. And then like all of these corporations want to get a hold of it so they can like be the mega corporation and like hold it over everyone's heads, because there's not really like governments in this world. Everything's run by corporations. So they also has the theme of capitalism is bad. So there's a lot of things going on in this sci-fi plot, and this book is kind of following one of the other characters from the book one. I'm assuming their path is going to cross with the people from book one somewhere in here, because this is Natalie. She was a main part of the first book. She's kind of going on her own adventure now. I'm assuming it will fix some of the problems of the end of the first book. If it doesn't, I will be beside myself. But yeah, it was a fun book. The ending messed me up, but like I wanted book two, and like Tor was nice enough to send me a copy, so thank you so much. I am excited for this one. Also from Tor Books, I got Soleri and Silence of the Solari by Michael Johnston. This is book one and book two of this series, and they so kindly sent me both of them. Thank you, Tor. So this got pitched to me as Egyptian history mythology meets King Lear, and I was like, tell me no more. You had me at ancient Egyptian history and mythology, and then you threw in King Lear and I'm sold. Honestly, I don't know much more about this series than that, but yeah, so it's kind of like loosely based around like Egypt and their gods and like their religious things. Like there's like a whole thing about an eclipse in here and stuff, so it has that kind of vibe, and also the political machinations of King Lear, at least this first book, and then I think the second book, it continues on. I'm very intrigued by this concept. I love King Lear, like love it, is one of my favorite Shakespeare works. Love King Lear. So yeah, that's it. That's all I know, but I'm very excited about it. I definitely want to start reading Soleri and just try it out. And if I like it, I have the book two already on deck. Thank you so much, Tor. Yes, I love it. Egyptian history meets King Lear. It's a great mashup concept. Speaking of sequels, I also picked up Royal Assassin and Assassin's Quest, both by Robin Hobb. This is the sequels to... what was the first book? Assassin's Apprentice. These are the sequel books, and they are chonky. These are thick books. The first book is like relatively like a normal size. These are all like easily, I don't know, 200 pages at least longer than the first book. They're very long. But I was really intrigued, and I went out of my way to order the UK copies because I think they're pretty. The US copies, like the covers are so bad. Like, I rarely care. I'm not, like, that's my one odd book nerd quirk, which, like, I don't care about having all the same format of book. I don't care if they match. Like, I will have a mass market and a hard copy of the same series, and it won't bother me. Chaos all the time. That's how I live my life. I know, what I just said probably made people cringe, but for me, I don't know, I live on the chaos, so I like it. But in this instance, like, I hated the covers of the US edition so much, I went out of my way to get covers that I liked. So I've only read book 1, so I don't really know exactly where this story is going to go overall, but we're following this guy named Fitz. He is a young man. He is learning to be an assassin slash royal slash wizardy kind of guy. Like, he's doing stuff. Also, he talks to dogs. Like, he can mind meld with dogs, and I'm like, oh man, that sounds cool. Like, I love it. Oh my. Okay, so I just read the backs of these. Like, I bought these sight unseen. I just liked book 1, so I got the rest of the series. And like, so you pick up things, and I was like, oh man, someone's pregnant, and like, this guy's king now. Like, there's some shit that has gone down in these books. So, yes, I am very excited to finally finish this series. It's kind of a fantasy classic series, trilogy. I think there is another trilogy, like spin-off continuation of trilogy to come. But yeah, you know, it's like old-timey fantasy world assassins and royal intrigue and people mind melding with each other and animals and stuff. So it's a cool world. I like it. It's a classic for a reason. And these books are chonky. Like, look how chonky. I'm excited. I'm gonna get into them. I'm gonna get all up in this. Take a quick drink break. The dancing is part of it. Just, you know, sometimes you just need to do that on a Wednesday. Breaking with the whole fantasy realm for a second, I picked up This Scot of Mine by Sophie Jordan. It's, you know, a Scottish Highlander historical romance. I do love a good kilty book, so I had to get this one. I kind of just randomly picked it up. It was like on sale, and I was like, well, it was on sale. So this one, I'm not 100% sure if it's like has a supernatural twist or not, because there's like mention of a curse, but we'll get into that. So we're following this woman named Clara. She has this fiance who's just vile and gross, and she hates him. So she's like, I gotta get out of this. I can't marry this guy. I'm pregnant. La-di-di-da. I'm ruined now. I'm pregnant. Look how pregnant I am. I know it doesn't show, but I'm pregnant. She's lying. She's not pregnant. She just ruins herself, and she's like, I'm gonna go to Scotland and live out my life in disgrace as a spinster. It's better than marrying that dick. So she does that. And then she meets this guy, Laird Hunt McLean. His name is Hunt, which I'm like, okay, I think you're stretching things, but whatever. So Laird Hunt McLean, he is obviously, you know, dreamy, kilty guy, and he has this curse, like, in his family, where, like, the males, like, die before the birth of their firstborn. So he's just like, wow, I can't get people pregnant. Like, this is a problem. And then one thing leads to another. These two get married. And I'm like, this is not the way out of your curse, bro. But they do it. They get married. And then they kind of like each other. And I'm assuming she's going to get totally pregnant. And he's going to be like, oh, no, there's a curse. And then, like, they're gonna have to break the curse. I don't know if it's a real curse or not, but I will find out. I have read other things by Sophie Jordan in the past, and I wanted to read more of Sophie Jordan, so when I found it on sale, I was like, okay, I see you, Sophie Jordan. And this one has a curse, so I was very excited about it. I mean, anything with like a kilt, I'm already kind of intrigued, and this one sounds fun. Another book I happened to find on sale, I'm such a sucker for Lynsay Sands historical, so I got A Lady in Disguise. And this was actually, it used to have a different name. It used to be The Reluctant Reformer. Both titles aren't great, but it's Lynsay Sands, so you know what? It's gonna be banter, it's gonna be funny, it's gonna have a murder mystery, because they all do, and I like it. This one in particular, we're following this woman named Maggie, and she wants to be an investigative journalist. Well, she is one, but she writes under like a pen name, because, you know, she's a woman, and they couldn't do that in this era, but whatever, she's doing it anyway. I like her. So she's like hunting down, getting information on this big story by going to the brothel and interviewing all the working girls. So she's there and she's like, oh no, my boyfriend showed up. He's a dick. I'm gonna change my clothes and hop out a window because I don't want to deal with this. F that guy. So she does. She's going out the window, prostitute clothes. And then James, her late brother's best friend who said, oh, I'll watch over your sister for you, don't worry. He's there and he's just like, what is happening? She's like a prostitute now? She must have fallen on hard times and I am seriously slacking on this. I need to protect this lady. I need to get her out of the working girl life. Like, it's a misunderstanding of mistaken identities and etc. And then like they're gonna, you know, fall in love for real. And I like that. I mean, this one is gonna be like borderline real dumb. Because sometimes their characters borderline on like himbo bimbo. Like there's sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, how did you get this far in life being that dumb? There's no way. However, I'll still read it. Like I'm pretty sure the banter is gonna be excellent. Mistaken identity works well with Lynsay Sands because there's always a murder mystery, and I'm assuming someone's trying to murder this lady because she's like exposing secrets, and people like, no, don't tell my secrets. So you're gonna try to kill her, and he's like, oh, we can't let you get killed. So that's it. That's what it's about. I'm such a sucker for Lynsay Sands historicals. Like, they're all the same, and I don't care. I love them. Last up in this book haul, I have Aurora Blazing by Jessie. I read the first book of this series last year. It's been a little while since I got back into this series. The first one's called Polaris Rising, and I've really wanted to read the next book for like a long time, and I finally found it. I found it on like clearance, and I was like, oh, on clearance for $4, yes ma'am. So I picked it up, very excited to find it. So, I can't really remember everything that happened in the first book, but I remember I enjoyed it. But this one's following a different sister. Essentially, they have, like, these, like, I don't know, they're not, like, royal, but, like, it's, like, essentially a royal houses in this galaxy. So they have, like, House Van Helsingborg, which is this house, and then they have, like, enemy houses and ally houses, etc., and, you know, political machinations and assassination attempts and stuff. It's a very dangerous Game of Thrones-y type of sci-fi land world. This time we're following Bianca. She is the sister of the heroine in the first book, and she is very much the spy master general lady. She's like, oh, I got forced into this bad marriage. That guy was terrible, and then he died, and it's great. I'm gonna use all my money I have now to like help other women who are in similar circumstances. Bianca's dope. I really like her. Also, she's got spies everywhere. She's like real cool. And then her older brother goes missing. She's like, I'll go find my brother. So she goes off to find her brother, and she wasn't supposed to do that. So they send the head of security out after Bianca. Mind you, head of security guy, ex-boyfriend, like before she got married. There's a lot of sexual tension there. And they're doing a cat and mouse game across the galaxy. And then they're probably going to like make out, and by make out I mean full penetration. So there's going to be some things happening in this book. It's a sci-fi, definitely more on the romance side. It's sci-fi romance, and I enjoy it greatly. And I got it for $4. Oh, the bargains. I love a good bargain. And I'm excited. I haven't got back into this series yet, but I feel like I'll catch up because it's somewhat episodic. Like, it's the same universe and the same world, but I think this one is its own contained story. So, like, I'll be okay. Because, like, it's been a while since I read the other one. I think maybe when I have less wine in my system, I'll probably remember more of it. But whatever. I'm going to read this book eventually. Hopefully soon. I want to read it. I like it. It's a sci-fi romance. I don't read enough sci-fi romance. Last sip, everybody. Like a champ. So on that note, I'm done hauling books and I have finished my wine. Killing it, guys. This turned out really well. So thank you for coming on this slightly tipsy book haul with me. I had fun. You know what? Sometimes it's just fun to like drink and hang out with people. And I feel like I'm virtually hanging out with you even though I'm just talking to a camera. I still feel like I am hanging out with all of you guys. So it's fun for me. I'm just drinking by myself on a Wednesday, but like I'm spinning it, guys. Like, let's go with it. Anyway, let me know in the comments down below. What's a book you like to drink to, I guess? Or if you don't drink, what's a book that you like to eat with? I don't know. Everyone eats, so I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. What's like a book pairing with either a drink or food? Like, what's your book? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like. And if you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon.